Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Guns Locked.
I ain't no bum, don't have no sons, don't need a bun to get ketchup off of the sink. I go on runs, it ain't so fun, we'll drink some pop to wash down all of the beef.
Yo, so a while back on my main channel, Gun Through the Gray, I told everyone to go comment on my latest video or one of the latest videos or any video on this channel and ask questions because I'm doing a Q&A. This is my first ever Q&A on the Guns Locked channel, and I think it's going to be very helpful for you guys. So stick around, hit that thumbs up button because we're going to knock these out and just get answers for you guys. So I'm just going to pull up the questions right away. We're going to jump straight into this and I'm going to answer some questions. I think I'm going to make this into 2 parts so I try to get everybody's question answered. So let's just jump right into it. Right now I'm going to be answering the questions in the Congos video. What's the name of the outro song? So the outro song I use is a song that me and Dunate made. If you guys don't Dunate, that's Dunate. We made this song, it's called Jealous. It was a long time ago. We made this song probably 2 or 3 years ago, and it took us almost a whole year to make because we kept procrastinating on it. It ended up turning out pretty good. I mean, we're not rappers, we just joke around, we mess around in the booth, we mess around with the mic sometimes and we try to have fun and just do all that. Yeah, that's the song. It's called Jealous by me and Dunate. In the Dying Dreadlocks video, someone asked, does anybody know the intro song? Which the intro song is a remix of Denzel Curry's Ultimate, which is my version. It was a parody and it was just like a bunch of random lyrics that I thought it sounded cool, but it's just a bunch of random lyrics. If you guys want to check out the parody video, I'll try to leave a link to that in the description. If not, you can just go search it up on my main channel. I'm thinking of starting dreads for the first time, but I'm scared that if I grow it out, the dreads will get smaller and fall out. Haven't started dreads yet, so what should I do? Also, my hair is not straight, it's very thick and curly mini afro. That is a very good question. I am going through a stage right now to where I'm trying to stay far away from dreadlocks falling out, because one of the main things is if you have thin dreadlocks and they end up getting thick at the top, they can easily fall out. I've had a friend who his dread fell out of his hair and he ended up cutting his whole hair just because of the dreadlock falling out. And it can be scary. That's why I've came to the decision of going just freeform or letting my roots combine and get strength from that. If that's the case, just don't get skinny dreadlocks. Get thicker dreadlocks because they always shrink. Know that for a fact, that if you're getting dreadlocks that look big at first, they're always going to shrink down from there. If you don't want super skinny dreads that are going to end up falling out, which I've seen people who have had like 20-inch long dreadlocks that are super skinny and they're still in their hair because they've just been maintaining them the whole time. It comes down to what you want. Dreadlocks usually don't fall out. It's just one of those scares that a lot of people with dreadlocks do have, and it usually doesn't happen. So go for it, whatever dreadlock you want, thick or skinny. If I'm interlocking my dreads but it's uncomfortable, should I stop and just go freeform, or would that take longer to lock up than interlocking? Interlocking is a really quick way to lock up hair, but the downside of it is it makes your dreads weird. They come out different and it can result in breaking off the dreadlock, because what ends up happening, you take the top of the dreadlock and you loop it through the bottom through the root, and it splits the dreadlock at the bottom, so it can end up going 2 into 1 dreadlock eventually. So it can make the dread weaker at the lower part of your head, so at the root it might become weaker. And if it's uncomfortable, that is also not a good sign as well, which can also lead into a dreadlock falling out. So just be very cautious about that, and if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Why did you quit dancing? Could have got some money, someone asked. I quit dancing because it was just like we thought we were gonna do it forever. That was our heart back in like 2012, 2011. We thought we were gonna do it forever, but we ended up not doing it. It was one of those things that just brought us into the next level of what we wanted to do. It kind of brought us into filmmaking in a sense, because during the dancing stages, everybody wanted to make a really good video and like to make their dance look really cool. So as you guys see, like back when we were making videos, I was trying to make the best looking video as possible, which led me into filmmaking, which I do now. Can you add synthetic hair to dreadlocks? Yes, you can. You can add whatever you want to dreadlocks, but a lot of people will call you out on synthetic dreadlocks. I'm not gonna call you out on it because I don't mind. It's your hair, do what you want with it. Just know that people, don't worry about what people think. I'm not gonna even tell you about that. Like, it doesn't matter what other people think, it matters what you think. If you think synthetic hair is gonna look cool in your hair, go for it. But if you don't wanna have that, I don't know, just don't do it. Do what you would wanna do with your dreadlocks. But you can add synthetic hair to your dreadlock. Someone said, if the dreadlocks stink, can you wash them? Of course, you can wash your hair whenever you want, whenever you please, and yeah, like you can wash your hair whenever you want. So I'm gonna be answering the questions on the 22-month update video, and this is the last video I'm gonna be answering the questions on, and then I'll probably make a part 2 because there's a bunch of questions that are unanswered for you guys. Let's jump straight into these ones. Can you do a slow-mo lock shake? I'll probably end up making a separate video for that. I'll definitely do it though. How do you start dreads with coily hair? Coily hair is already starting off the dread as is. People, when they start dreadlocks, they coil up the hair. So if your hair is already in coils, you're already on the right track, and you just gotta wait for it to lock up. Unless you want to assist the locks, and then you can go the twisting route or go any route that you would like, and you can just look all those up on YouTube. Someone asked, where do dreads come from? They have been around, I'm pretty sure, ever since humans have existed. Back then they didn't have combs, they didn't have hair care products and all these things that we do today, so everyone, I'm pretty sure, back then had dreadlocks. Yo Gunther, what is your favorite thing about having dreadlocks? Also, for someone starting dreadlocks, about how long do I have to wait to be able to wash or wet my hair? My favorite thing about dreadlocks is just that I've always wanted dreadlocks, and they're so cool to have. Like looking at myself in the mirror and be like, wow, my hair has gotten so long, and just seeing the progression of dreadlocks is really cool to see. Everything is really cool about them. I love the way they look. I don't know, I just like everything about them, and I like how they just suit me. I've always wanted them, so now that I got them, I feel like they just perfectly suit me. How long do you have to wait to wet or wash your hair? I waited exactly 2 months before I wetted my hair, and I just wetted it, and it was in sea salt, which I was in the ocean swimming, so it's totally different than washing your hair, I believe. But it's all up to you. If you want your hair to dread up really quick, or go my route, I didn't wash it for 2 months, and it does seem crazy, and a lot of people think it's nasty, but if your dreads aren't stinking, or they don't smell, or they're not dirty, like there's no need to really wash them. But it is always good to wash your hair, but it's all up to you, personal preference, if you want to wait or just keep washing them and eventually get them. But just so you know, washing your hair does improve dreadlocks, and it does make the dreadlock form faster. Someone wanted a shout out, Zay Gaming, shout out, man. Somebody asked, do I have stretchers in my ear? I used to stretch my ears out back in 2012, 2013, 2011, around these days, those days, and they were stretched out. Yeah, as you guys can see, they're small now, but back then I had 3/4 inch plugs, and that's why my ears are stretched out, and you guys can see through them. Sometimes I forget about them. Oh, this dude wants a shout out too, and it's Zay Gaming's homeboy, Unliving Space Gaming. Shout out to you too. How long is the locking process, or how long should you wait to retwist? The locking process, it locks up the whole time you have dreadlocks. The whole time, dreadlocks are always in the process of locking up. So it's never like a stop at the end. It's never like you get to the end of the road and it's like, okay, my hair is completely locked up, which it does get to a point to where it won't come out, which my hair, it won't come out. Like I can't just wash this out. But I understand what you're asking, like how long does it take till you can like wash your hair, just have like a normal day without trying to maintain your dreadlocks. I understand that. I think a good amount of time is 2 to 3 months, maybe even 4, for them to be like, all right, they're solid, they're good. How long did it take for your locks to drop? I'm about 4 months in at 3 to 4 inches, and mine still stand up like a pineapple. Keep it up and God bless. God bless you too, my friend. It took my dreads about 3 months for them to drop. At the 2-month mark, I got them wet, so they dropped a little bit, but at the 3 months is when they started dropping, and then 4 months was like they were super, 5 months is when they were like, all right, they're dropped and they're ready to go. Why did you stop twisting your dreads? The whole reason I stopped twisting my dreads is so that my hair doesn't fall out. I know that sounds crazy, but I started out semi freeform and I want to just keep going that way. I started out with a sponge, so it wasn't like perfectly sectioned out coils and everything, so I got hair from other dreads going into other dreads, and that's just how it is. So I don't want to retwist it because I don't want my hair to be weak. I don't want my roots to be weak. That's the whole reason. Hopefully that made sense. Gunther, I'm starting vlogging soon. Any tips for vlogging? I know this is not a dreadlock question, but a tip for vlogging is just be yourself and be consistent. Those are the 2 biggest things. All right, guys, winding down to the last question. Someone asked, Gunther the Great, they said, Gunther the Great, I love your vids, and I've started my dreadlocks with the sponge. So what product do you say? So they're asking what product would be good to use with the sponge. I didn't use no product whatsoever when I was doing the sponge method. The whole time I did sponge, my hair was dry. And then after a while, I started twisting my dreadlocks, which was the least amount of part of dreadlocks that I liked. I didn't like twisting my dreadlocks with product, which the only product I'll give a shout out to is Jamaican Mango and Lime Twisting Gel. So that is the only, or it's actually locking gel, not twisting gel. So that is the only product that I would recommend. Other than that, there's nothing else really out there for me that I've used. I don't use any product right now just besides washing my hair. So that is all the questions for today. I think I am going to be making a part 2, so stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys next time. Drop a question down below if you want a question answered, and I'll definitely be in part 2. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for tuning in to Guns Locked.
Are you jealous? Fellas, record label killers, I've been chillin', billin' overzealous. Bellas, singing all chords with all of these comfy girls. Jelly, but why are you jelly?